So back in 2023, we bought an apartment in Newcastle, of all places. Not a house, not in Sydney, not where you grew up. Was there any reservations on when I recommended an apartment?
The whole reason there, back to, you know, buying a property with your partner, is like that risk threshold.
Yeah.
And definitely for that first one, like if I go back in time now, I fully would have felt more comfortable to buy a property that was probably $1 million to get started with.
Yeah.
But to get started with, I was like, no, Gabe, like we're going low, like to see how this plays out. We had landed at that point, I think, that we knew we had the cash at that point in time that we could like execute tomorrow, but also didn't want to like over leverage as well because like I'm more low risk. And so we sort of ended up there.
So we spent $690 on the first property.
Yep.
Went in with an 88% LVR, is that right?
Yep.
Within a few months, we had a reval done. And then you guys pulled out nearly all the money you put back in of 75 grand.
Yep.
That was January 24. So what was that? 3 months' time?
Yep, 3 months, exactly. And at that point in time, like the time that, you know, the house settles, like that was like a couple months and you keep saving up more money again. And we still had a bit of a cash buffer when we purchased Nesca. So when we had pulled that money out from Nesca after a couple months, we were already ready to go for property
number two. Nesca's value now is 870. Is that based on the most recent valuation that we've had done?
Yep.
So what's that? 200-ish thousand in growth in what? 18 months?
18 months.
There we go.
It was definitely like a daunting experience, like committing to doing this. You know, you always have that commitment of like, this is a long-term strategy. You definitely got to get used to that because it's like sales is a high-pressure job. You always got to be meeting demands, quota and things like that.
And
but
it can change really quickly,
Can
right?
change really quickly. So it's always important to like go off like, I believe, like your base to keep investing than the commission because that can always be a downturn.
That's also a conservative approach as well, which is good.
Though why I got comfortable is because of all those factors, right?
Yeah.
The worst case, again, we could sell the properties or I don't do anything and I'm in the same situation 10 years down the track, which I see very often with a lot of people. So it's just like that drive to that made me want to do it.
And then we also had the plan, right? Where you could see like, hey, this property is, if it grows by X, it's going to cost you Y to own. And like you said, the worst case scenario is if it doesn't work out, you can't afford it anymore, or you just choose a different avenue, you sell the property.
Totally. But yeah, big piece of that going through with you was like the game plan of like long term, what does this strategy look like? Because I think once you got that 30-year plan, 40-year plan, it's just like, that's fine.